Hey, we are starting lesson 7 this week. It's on time management. So this is something that I think we're all always trying to improve on and making sure we're using our time wisely and making the most out of the time we have. I just want to walk to the application activity because it's a little more complex. And so hopefully everyone is able to watch this video and stick with me. So I'm in the content page, post gathering. Oh, and I'm in lesson 7, post gathering. And as I go up to the application activity directions, okay, I'm going to hide my face for just a second so we can see all this. So the directions are that you have 168 hours each week. So each week there are 168 hours. Some of those hours we don't have a choice on what we do. We don't get to decide what we do every hour of the 168. Because here are, as we look at this, we have sleep that we have to get. Sometimes I know we wish we didn't need sleep because we could get a lot more done. If you slept 8 hours a night, which would be great, for 7 days, that's 56 of the hours that we're sleeping. 15 to 20 hours you should be spending working on your pathway assignments. And 1.5 hours for gathering. I know that can vary depending on how far you may have to travel or drive or commute. So that's maybe more than 1.5 hours. And then 3 hours for church. And once again, that doesn't include travel time, and you may have other callings or activities outside of the 3-hour church Sunday block. So when you add all of that up, you subtract that time from our original 168, all you have left are 88 hours. And I've got to put my face back up. So we have 88 hours that we can decide what we're going to do with. So it's up to us. If you work full-time, maybe half of that time is taken up going to work. So you have even less that you are able to use for your choice. And what you're going to do this week is use a time chart to keep track of what you do for 48 hours. So it's really 2 days, and what you do for those 2 days. And I would suggest that you do this before the weekend. So do this before Friday or Saturday, because sometimes students say, yeah, I tracked my time, but it was different because I don't have my regular routines or jobs on the weekend, and so it doesn't look like a normal or regular average weekday for me. So I would suggest doing it anywhere for Monday and Tuesday, or keep track of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that way you can get a view of how you're spending your time. So first, I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk through this chart with you. And we will, okay, let's make sure we get to, okay, hopefully you can see this. So here's what it looks like. So you have the first day and the second day. And now I really will hide my face so that we're able to focus. So first you say what the activity is, and if I can scoot this over, you'll be able to see the different categories. So first, if I did it Monday and I decided, I'm sleeping still, Monday, Sunday night, but really Monday early morning. So I'm sleeping all of this time, all the way, and maybe I go all the way down and wake up at 6:30. Okay, so I sleep till then, and from 6:30 to 7 o'clock, maybe I read my scriptures. And from 7 to 7:30, maybe I exercise. And then I prepare and eat breakfast. Now we'll just go on to the next line if it has too much, and you can even minimize that because the categories aren't very long. And then maybe I get ready for work. And then I drive to work. It'd be great if I had until 9 o'clock to get to work, and maybe you work from 9 o'clock until 4 o'clock. So you work all of this, so you just fill, if you know how to merge cells, you can do that as well. So it's in 30-minute blocks. So as you do this, once you've kept track, put what activity it is, and then what category does that activity fall into. So look right here. So the category for sleep is to sleep, is the sleep category. Here when I read my scriptures, I would say it might have to do with study for pathway assignment, or I would just say personal, something you choose to do in your personal time. And then, you know, I would say the exercise is once again personal, something you're choosing to do. Prepare and eat breakfast. There's the eat category. Get ready for work. I would say that's personal, or you could have that as part of work. And drive to work, there is a travel category. So travel, and then there's a work category. So I do work for all the time that I'm at work. Leisure, maybe when I get home from work, maybe I'm going to browse Facebook or Instagram. Be honest, this is only to help you, not to make you feel guilty or have us. This log itself isn't going to be shared with me. You're just going to answer questions using what you find out from this log. So if you do Facebook and Instagram, maybe for an hour. It's amazing how much time we can spend doing that. But I think if the more honest you are, the more you can have a true perspective of how your time is spent. So I would say you could call that personal or leisure if that's the way that you relax and wind down after a long day of work. So that is what it looks like. And then maybe you do puzzles or games with your family. So that would be family time. Maybe you do help with your child's homework. And I would specify child's homework. So we don't think it's yours. Child's homework, that's still family. So once you have done that, let me show you here. You're going to add up how many hours you spend in each category. So just from what I have done, let's see if I can get that back. Sorry. You know, maybe here I just figure from 12 o'clock to, you know, 6:30, how many hours is that I was sleeping? I look here and find maybe all the leisure spots and add up how much time was spent in the leisure category for that day. I would suggest doing day 1 and then day 2 and then adding them together, the different categories times. Then you'll download the template, and that's where you'll answer questions, these questions. And it asks, did you use the time chart and track activities for a full 48 hours, so full 2 days, not just one? So it's on your honor to answer that question. We don't have you upload your log. And then it's going to ask you some insights. What ahas or reflections do you have, or surprises? And answer those questions after using this tracker of your time. And the time chart is going to help you reflect on how you spend your time and answer some of those questions. So I love this activity, and I feel like it really opens your eyes to how you're spending your time. Some say, you know what, I think I'm doing okay, but many of my students can see at least one area where they could improve, or where they want to spend their time on something they value more than something else that's taking up a lot of their time. So I hope that was helpful to walk through the application activity. I am going to do a separate video this week for our English tip, only because this is getting long and I worry some people don't stick with me all the way to the end. So I want to do 2 separate videos this week just because it was so long. I hope you have a wonderful week, a great Valentine's Day. And like I said in my note, I think Valentine's Day is so fun. It's not for everyone. I have some friends that really don't like Valentine's Day. But I think it's fun to get a chance to express love, and my girls just love doing anything related to Valentine's. So we'll be making cookies and taking them to friends, and I'll help out in my daughter's classroom for a Valentine's party. So we're excited. So have a great week, and we will talk with you next week. Bye, everyone.